Football in Yemen is suffering. It suffers from the years of repression in the country, but it also suffers from a football association that finds many excuses instead of revitalising and developing the sport. Today we're looking at a country that finally needs to return to the football stage on a permanent basis. I don't think I need to tell you much about the general situation in Yemen. The country has been in a deep political crisis since 2011 at the latest, and civil war has been raging since 2015. These conflicts have led to serious humanitarian crises, and there have been hardly any positive developments in the country in recent years. It is a confusing situation, and many international forces are also involved. However, this video is not about clarifying the political situation. We want to take a look at football in the country. And I'm doing this in the form of an interview with Murad Mohammed, who is fighting to advance football in the country and reform the association. I asked Murad what role football currently plays in the country and whether it can perhaps even be a distraction for the people from all the suffering that surrounds them as a result of the war.
First of all, thank you so much for having me on your beautiful show. I think it's an amazing opportunity for us as Yemenis to present our concerns and challenges through an international channel. And answering your question, I would like to say that football is playing a major role to calm the situation in the country, as all the war parties are gathered around sports, and it's the common base between all differences and all issues in Yemen.
As you know, we always look at the national leagues of each country on this channel. But in Yemen, it has to be said it's quite difficult to talk about it, simply because club football has been dormant for many years.
When it comes to football and sports in general, I can say it's got affected by the war, just like the other aspects of life in Yemen. The thing is, what is different about Yemen, that this organization was run before and after by, sorry to say this, by a corrupted group of people. And unfortunately, they didn't do the needful to reform the situation and to find the solutions to reinitiate the sport activities. So for the last 10 years, the football activities was on hold due to the war. And I guess they've been using actually this tool to prolong the holdness of the sport activities inside Yemen. However, for the last 3-4 years, they were able actually to restore the activities again, but they didn't have actually the intention or the pure intention to restore this important thing.
So there's at least some hope that there will finally be organized club football in Yemen again. That would of course also be important for the national team, which is of course still involved in the qualifiers for World Cup and the AFC Asian Cup. Due to the situation in the country, the last international match in Yemen took place in 2010. Since then, home games have also had to take place in neighboring countries. How has this ban on home games affected the people of Yemen?
First of all, talking about the ban, actually the ban started on the football of the organizing of the matches inside Yemen back in 2011, after the revolution that took place in the country. And since then, we didn't see any tangible actions from the officials to lift this ban, especially that there are a lot of zones or areas inside the country that able to receive those matches, but we didn't see the needful efforts to lift this ban. So currently we are playing in some neighboring countries. Saudi Arabia, Qatar are hosting the national teams, and I'm so thankful that we are surrounded by those beautiful countries that allow Yemen to stay within the international community as the football national team and to play against the other teams. So we are playing in Saudi Arabia and Qatar now, most of the games, and also that the community that is following the national team are existing in those two countries and in large population. And talking about the spectators, definitely I can think that all Yemenis are following their national team. Whenever they go, wherever they go, you will find a Yemeni fans following them and supporting the movement of the Yemeni national team. As I told you before, it's a source for happiness, and the Yemenis are passionate about football, and they would love always to see our national team winning.
Despite the difficult circumstances, Yemen managed to take part in the AFC Asian Cup in 2019 and compete with the strongest teams on the continent. I asked Murad if this was the biggest success in the country's football history and what steps need to be taken to repeat such a success.
Well, very good question, by the way. And honestly, I do not actually consider what happened, for the national team, and I mean here the qualification to the Asian Cup as the biggest achievement. Still remember back in 2003, the Yemeni national team under 16, they managed to qualify to the finals of the World Cup for that category, and before that they took the second place in the Asian Cup. So I can consider that actually the biggest achievement, because we qualified to the finals of the World Cup, and we were in the same group with Brazil, Cameroon, and also the Portuguese team. And Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way, was one of the players who played against the Yemeni national team at the time. So that one I consider as the biggest achievement. When it comes to the qualification to the finals of the Asian Cup back in 2019, yes, definitely it's one of the achievements. And who achieved this thing definitely are brilliant players. However, the performance for the players or for the national team wasn't that good, because they lost all 3 games and they didn't score any goal.
That was a fascinating insight, and we all learned that Cristiano Ronaldo has also had his share of experience with Yemen. If we take a closer look at the region, there are also smaller competitions such as FIFA Arab Cup, the Arab Gulf Cup and the WAFF Championship, in addition to the major continental tournaments. How important are these in Yemen?
Yeah, definitely. I can consider those small tournaments as the gap to life for the Yemeni sport, because all the sport activities inside the Yemen are blocked or on hold due to the corruption of the Yemeni Federation, the Yemeni Football Federation. As I told you, they are not interested to restore these activities again. So definitely those tournaments that is holding the Yemeni national team is our source to play with the peers of the other countries' national teams. And yes, it's followed by all Yemenis. And still remember, we won 2 trophies for the West Asian Cup under the age of 16. And the people of Yemen went crazy, celebrating that winning, especially with the hard circumstances that the country is going through.
These competitions keep football alive in the country and the national teams. But let's move on and look ahead. Elections are planned for the country's football federation soon, and Murad explains why they are so important for the future of football in Yemen.
As I told you, the problem that they are selecting some members who are allowed or eligible to do voting in that federation, who are actually considered as from the friend zone of the current leader of the Yemeni Federation, whose name is Ahmed Al-Raisi. So he wants from that idea to ensure his winning in the coming election. Unfortunately, a lot of nominations got rejected for several and unknown reasons. So I think with this condition, I think it's a good time, to convey this message to the international community represented by Al-FIFA, to look after the conditions of football in Yemen, as the many people deserve, better conditions and better leadership that can take them from the concept of failing and lose, to follow their peers in the region.
The only question that remains is whether Murad wants to say a few words to the Football Federation.
I think it's the proper time for Ahmed Al-Raisi and the leadership of the football to leave the scene and to give this position for professional people with different mindsets, people who belongs to football field, who want to improve the situation, who need to regain, the winning and improving the football situation inside the country.
As you can see, football in Yemen is hoping to be given a new chance, a chance for a real new beginning. This should then strengthen the domestic league, the youth program, and the national team. I hope that the people of Yemen get this chance and can draw new strength from football. What do you think football in Yemen needs to realize its full potential? Let me know in the comments, I'm curious. Until then, thank you for watching. Take care, see you soon.